Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. All right, what do we have here for you, Pisces? Hopefully you all are doing well. We are getting over some sickness at home here, and seems like it just won't go away really. But I am feeling better, and so I'm happy for that, and the baby's feeling a little bit better too, so cannot complain too much. Okay, let's see, what do we have? This is interesting. The groupings are pretty distinct here. I want to start with this one. And now, if you are an older person, such as I am, you might be more, let's see, you might be more aware of the excuse me, the numbers, kind of with these serifs on them. So this would be a 1. And it kind of goes up and down and then right across, okay? And of course we do still see numbers in this style, especially like, I'm thinking like house addresses, like the little signs that are on people's houses and things like that. But I still write my ones like that. That's how I was taught when I was in school a million years ago. And so anyways, we have a 1. And when a number comes through like this, so, and I would say, how I describe this is, when a number comes through and it's actually in the formation of a number, instead of maybe just like one line or one dot, or, you know, like if it was 3, it'd be 1, 2, 3 dots. Or if it's in the formation of the actual number, which this one is a 1, then I'm certain that you are going to be looking for a 1 to appear in your life somewhere. Written in a text, a house number, you know, something like that, where it will be, you know, very apparent that it is a 1 showing up. Okay. Now what does this 1 really mean? Kind of wanted to turn this over a little bit and kind of check this out a little more, this formation, the 1, because we have, it looks like a person with a head. Let's see, turn it that way. With the head and the arms and shoulders, the body, and it looks like it's kind of in a running posture, okay? And its head is up here in this more spiritual, emotional health zone, which would be on the cusp of the spiritual and then into the psychic, mental, emotional space. So if they're together, and especially because it's a head, I feel like this is kind of about the state of those two things combined, okay, where they meet. And now I'm looking at this right behind, and it really, yesterday in one of my readings, I had an airplane, right? And it looked very similar to this, but this placement, it almost feels like something is like flying at the head, right? And it looks like with the running, and I also see over here, which is interesting, we have another similar kind of formation with the head, the arm similar, the body, and then this leg looks like it's going up and almost kicking this, these two lines that are broken in the middle. So I think that this is kind of a movement here. I get this real feeling that there's something has just gone wrong for you, okay? I feel like you really have been, and Pisces, we know that you, in your major placements especially, have a tendency to get ahead of yourselves a little bit. Maybe not too slow to act, right? Maybe a tad bit impulsive, okay? And I feel this, like in my mind, I'm getting the phrase like, you know, like a bite in the butt, or, you know, it's like coming back to get, like, kick you in the pants, or those are terrible. But it's something like that. Like, it's definitely, it's coming back to bite you, basically. And when I kind of turn this here, I also am seeing this dragon, and this is a very well-formed body. Look at that. It has a lot of power. The little head, it has a little bit of fire coming out. It looks like it's right at your feet, okay? And I feel like that maybe this up here, I almost feel like I don't like to be crude, but it almost is very phallic to me. So I feel like this is like, it does not have to be, this doesn't have to relate to a relationship with a person that has a, how do I say it on here? Like with a phallic genital organ. Okay. I always have to ask my husband, like, what am I allowed to say on here? Because he has a channel too. Shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. But yeah, so I'm like, I kind of always like, I have to pause and have to really think about what I'm about to say. Okay. So I think that I get the impression, okay, that you maybe got into a situation with somebody, you maybe were dating somebody, got involved with somebody, maybe didn't even consummate the relationship, but, you know, maybe there was a lot of flirtation, feelings were really emerging, and you just were all in really quickly, okay? And I don't think that this, if you are married or have like a long-term partner, I don't think that this is that person, you know, and I don't even know if this is really like somebody that you had like a super formed relationship with. This could be somebody that you developed feelings for, you know, kind of, I want to be so delicate sometimes with these things, but, passively, you know what I mean? Maybe like a crush, or, you know, kind of, it could have been like more of an emotional connection, something. Maybe they supported you through some things that you were going through, you know, I mean, it could have been anything. I don't think that this was a super long-term thing though. This feels like you really felt heard, seen, connected with them. Really were like thinking like, maybe this is going to be the life that, you know, I'm going to change everything and have a life with this person. Maybe this is where my life is going. Okay. And I just feel like you're like now running. Something happened where, you just knew that it was not going to be a good deal. And I wonder if this person really just showed themselves for who they were. When I see this dragon, I think, you know, possessiveness, you know, volatile nature, anger, speaking loudly, just out of control, controlling type of person, okay? And with them kind of just, you know, raining fire on your feet, I feel like you're like, you know, they're chasing after you to some degree. Okay. And I don't think it's like they're showing up at your house, like, you know, trying to kidnap you or something. I mean, I hope not. And, you know, I'm not trying to make light of a situation like that, but, I think that they're just really, you know, persistent. I think that the dynamic of this relationship has been kind of tricky for you, okay? And so I feel like maybe there's some degree of like I don't know that you fully told them that you're done, like this is not going to happen, okay? So I feel like there's almost kind of maybe a possibility that they think that you want them to try harder, or you know, you're giving kind of mixed signals. But you really have this instinct to get out of there. And I don't even know that has even started to happen. Okay. I think that you have the feeling to be like very repelled by some of the things they've done, said, their behavior. Maybe you're already in a relationship and you're realizing like, maybe I don't want to leave my relationship, or maybe I don't want to leave my relationship for this specific person or any person. Right? Maybe you've come to realize that you do want you want to leave your relationship, but you want to do it on your own terms, and you want to do it for yourself, and, you know, so that you can you kind of set up life the way you want, not just jump to the next person, right? Which, listen, I'm not judging, okay? You know, I'm always going to be an advocate for spending some time by yourself between relationships, okay? I think that that's a really good idea all the time. No matter even if you love somebody and you want to be with this next person, I think if they really love you and you really love them, you should give yourself a little bit of time so that you can, you know, process through some of the old stuff from the old relationship and just know for sure what you want for yourself, not out of like necessity or, you know, a desire to escape your last relationship. Okay. But I just think that you really, and I want to bring this one up here. And this is the Justice card. In the Thoth deck, it would be Adjustment. It's the 8th card. And in this version of it from the Carnival at the End of the World, which is a beautiful deck, we see the weighing of the heart, which is one of the central myths within Egyptian mythology that we know of, that has been popularized in contemporary culture. And so anyways, this is when Anubis takes the dead to kind of a purgatory place. They take your heart, they weigh it against a feather, and I think it's the feather of Ma'at, and then it's decided, where do you go? Will you be eaten? And I forget her name. It's the alligator, crocodile of the Nile. And if your heart is too heavy, then you'll be eaten. Your heart will be eaten, and you go to some like not good place, right? And then if it is light enough, then you go to, you know, whatever beautiful divine place after that. But the card is about balance. It's about finding balance. It's about making decisions. It's about you know, taking the time, as we were just talking about, to figure out what you really need for yourself, or what really needs to go into a situation to solve whatever problem you have going on. You need to figure out all the variables, how you want things to go, what you're willing to do, and you know, what that will look like. And so this is really about the planning stages, the beginnings of this real how things are going to play out, right? Things are in movement, but we're getting, we're at the beginning stages of the movement through a situation. Okay. So that's really, I think the big thing to take away here today is that you have some choices to make, and some work that you're going to have to do within yourself, some real radical honesty that you're going to have with yourself about what actually do you want? What do you not take away what you want for other people, or what you think people want for you, or what people think of you, or are you afraid you're going to disappoint somebody or let somebody down or whatever? It's important to strip away those things if you can in these kind of mental exercises and really get to, what do I actually want, without being witnessed by anybody else, without all of the ethical, moral, conditioning things that we kind of filter our thinking through. But truly and honestly, what do you want? Okay. And then we think about, what do we need? What do we actually need? What do the people that rely on us need? Okay. So our kids, our family, if we're, in a committed relationship, even if you're leaving somebody, we've made commitments to people, and we have to take into consideration, especially if you like shared property or you're married or have kids together, there are all these things. Now, I'm not saying you have to stay with somebody. I never would advocate for you staying with somebody against your will or true will or any of that. But, these things do come into play, right? The more moving parts we have, the more nuanced our decision making has to be. And that's just reality. But that's not important right now. What I'm telling you is that we really got to think about, what is it that you want and need, okay? And I think that whoever this person is that kind of came around, you had this like brief little dalliance with, or you really very quickly had emotional connectivity, and then they weren't that person for you, right? And they might have even just been really off-putting or whatever. They have played an important role to kind of open a space within you to really kind of give you, like a real direction of, okay, I really need to be more discerning about what it is that's going on with me, what it is I want in my life, what kind of person do I want to be with, and what kind of work am I willing to do to make room in my life to attract and connect with, unify with somebody who meets that criteria for me. Okay. And I don't mean like how tall they are or how much money they make. And maybe, if that's what you're into, okay. No judgment again. But I'm talking about more like a soul partner. Somebody that you can live happily domestically with. Somebody who's going to do what they say they're going to do. Somebody who's going to honor you. Okay. Somebody, it doesn't have to be the biggest love of your life, but somebody that you trust. Okay. Some people, let me just say, in my experience of knowing a lot of different people in my life, sometimes people don't always need the big passion that, the big fireworks and, lustiness and all that. Yeah, that's cool. That's great. But, if you're looking for somebody that you're in the long haul with, like you really are going to create a family and a life and a bond, and just mutual respect and honor and all that, you can obviously, yes, you can have like that super desire and fireworks and all of that, but I'm not saying you have to have one or the other. But you know, I think it's important to really prioritize things that are you know, more reasonable, more I don't know, what is the word? Just, you know, that are going to uphold the life that you really want, okay? And it's important to really be honest with yourself about those things. And I've really, let's look at what else we have here. I see a it looks like a big devil head right here. Okay, so I really think that this ties into that idea that this is the this person who has been around has been around because they have kind of forced some change in your life. And when I see the devil archetype, for me, oftentimes that's what I relate it to, is this idea that there is kind of an abrupt or forced, uncomfortable transition happening. Okay. Not unlike kind of the death card or some aspects of like the hangman a little bit, but more just there's some kind of energy coming in. And I mean, this is the other side of it though. It's going to open that space for you to have to make some tough decisions, but it's also going to kind of lure you, enchant you, kind of distract you, hopefully momentarily, okay, from your life, from the things that you've built, from your routines, you know, all of the stuff that was important. These energies come into your life and really get you just kind of almost, I think of it as like somebody who, you know, keeps a good home, works on themselves, is spiritually attuned to, you know, whatever they're into, whatever systems or schools of thoughts or whatever. But then they start, you know, maybe drinking a little too much or, you know, doing other things that alter their mind, and it becomes more habitual, right? And then they're not showing up to work all the time. They're not feeling good every day. They're not honoring their responsibilities. They're not, you know, taking part in their family life. Okay, so to me, these are the kinds of energies that come along with this kind of devil energy. And it doesn't have to be a substance. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be, you know, any kind of addiction, any kind of, as I had said, dalliance. But it's not always going to doom you. Now, does it doom some people? Yes. But I truly believe that if you are looking at videos like this or any kind of materials where you're trying to find answers, I feel like there's something within you that really wants to kind of stop whatever's going on. And then on the other side of that distractive, over, you know, taking over you and your thinking, that kind of devil energy, on the other side of that, it's going to help you realize, okay, I have to make a big decision here. I really, really need to decide like what I'm going to do. What do I actually want? What do I actually need in life? Okay, so now it's a rough path. This devil energy, right? Or this devil energy showing up on your path, okay? It's not the most ideal way to get to where you want to go. But you know what? A lot of us end up getting sucked into that, okay? And, you know, you're not all is lost. It's never too late. Okay, if you're above ground, you're breathing, it's not too late. So, what are we gonna do? Okay, I want to look at this on the other side here. I just wanted to also point out that on kind of on the side here, it looks like kind of a head, kind of the same figure we saw up here a little bit, but kind of it looks like it's falling, right? So that's the same kind of energy, just getting so sucked up into something that you've made some bad choices, right? You've kind of been led astray or led yourself astray, right? But you know, you're really you're awakening to that. You have this feeling of running off, getting away from it. And then I see here, there's this nice figure. It looks like kind of a person in a robe or a dress holding, and this to me looks a little phallic again, but holding something precious to them, okay? Maybe this is that cup, like the Ace of Cups, right? The Holy Grail. I kind of think with the one, I kind of get that energy, the one that we saw at the beginning of the reading. I get this energy of having a container that contains this idea of spirit, okay, of divinity, kind of taking your cup and going home, right? Returning back to yourself, returning back to the things that you found important, getting back on course, and, kind of just putting the stuff behind you. So, you're not so far into it that you can't fix things. But most importantly, you've learned some things about yourself. You've learned some things about what you might want. And you're still intact as a being, right? You have this vessel that you're holding. You're running with it. It's contained with spirit. And you have that potent thing that you're going to bring into your next situation, that I think with this gaining of knowledge through situational failures, or some amount of suffering, or just even being kind of scared by how other people can act or how the world can behave. You got out of your comfort zone, something happened, you're still safe, thankfully, but now you have a little bit more understanding that things don't always go your way, things aren't always as they seem, but you still have that thing that you need to go into the next situation and make it work, right? You've gained some wisdom. Okay, now I want to look at this one. And this one looks like the same person in that robe or dress. And they look like they're kind of floating up and ascending. They have a crown on. And I really see this beautiful piece over here that's kind of in that spirit, metaphysical, higher consciousness. And I really do believe that, whatever has been going on, it's going to turn out for the best. Okay, I think that, it's probably not going to work out how you had hoped. But those feelings will disperse, and I don't think it's as important as you think it is. But it's going to help you realign the life that you have so that you can create the life that you're going to have. Okay, the life that you, have been dreaming of. And this, I think, will give you some more courage to go about that in a way that is more sustainable than just kind of finding some person that, tickles your fancy and running off with them, okay? Because, that's fun and romantic, I guess, but once you get to know that person and they kind of just suck, what was it for, right? So I really see that, you're going to reel it back, and it's going to, after you get through this process of really deciding, weighing things, really looking at the root of why are you even in this situation in the first place, it's going to help you get rid of some of those blockages, some of that stuff that's just lingering in your channels of energy and your mental spaces. And, you know, I think it's going to be a really good thing for you. Okay. Now let's see. I see the 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Kind of like a, what's it? A die, like a dice, a die. Is it a die when it's singular? Yeah, I think so. So here we have in the next, I would say 5 weeks, I think there's just going to be a big resolution to this. Okay. Out of this current situation, or the situation that you are beginning to kind of have some clarity about, I think by the next 5 weeks, there's going to be, it's going to be processed through. Now, that doesn't mean all of the factors are going to be kind of worked through. I think just with this person in particular, whoever this dragony, demon, devil energy person is, or whatever the situation is, if it's not a person, whatever it is that's really, you know, kind of got its hooks into you, I think there's going to be a resolution, but you're going to have to really be adamant about making true decisions for yourself, about your true will, about your true wants, about your true desires, about your actual needs, the actual needs of the people who rely on you, and so forth. Okay. No half stepping, as they say. Okay. So and then also the boundaries. Okay. Once this person or the situation is done, cut it out, block them, set those boundaries. Don't get lonely or whatever some late night and go texting them, or, you know, whatever it is. Don't backslide. Okay. I mean, really, for your own well-being, don't do that. And then I think just that space will allow you some room, as I keep saying, the room, the space for you. But it's so important. I try to visualize that as like your temple, your sacred space to really commune with yourself, without the influence of other people, or, you know, especially if it's like a compulsive desire for somebody or something that is related to them. You have to make that room between you and not be in contact with them and not be influenced by them, or, you know, even just like looking, like, don't go on their social media. Do not look at what they're doing. Don't do any of that stuff. Like, stay in your own lane. Just don't engage in it. And that's going to give you some ability to make better choices, I think. Okay, Pisces, that's the reading. I'm sorry it wasn't a fun one. It was a little more serious, but hey, I think it's good. It's good. We go through these situations in life, okay? Especially if you're in the dating world or whatever. You know, you're not always gonna pick the winner immediately, right? That's all right. That's all right. As my daughter would say, that's okay. You know, that's okay. So, I'm just going to thank you for your time. I am always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. I reach more people, and, you know, it makes me just, I don't know, I feel less disheartened about everything. I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm making some progress here. I'm going to keep doing these readings. The other thing, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about subscribing. Come back, watch your other placements. Hit the little bell thing. That notification button will tell you when other videos are coming out. Right now with my schedule, we're doing 1 a day. I'm hoping to get to at least 2 videos a day pretty soon. So I'm thinking like once they get 5,000 subscribers, I'm really going to make that push to do 2 videos a day, 2 readings a day. So then that will put me on a schedule of having every sign once a week instead of every 2 weeks. Okay. So, the other thing, oh yes, leave a comment, please. I love hearing from you. You all are so sweet, so kind, so, you know, invigorating. You make my soul sing, and I don't, you know, it's just, it's nice to have that connection with you all who are watching the videos and stuff. I always love hearing how the readings are resonating with you, but also what are you seeing in the cup? I love seeing what you are seeing, like the little shapes that I'm, you know, that I see it differently or I miss it or whatever. I would love to hear what you're picking out. Okay, thank you. We will see you again in 12 days, Pisces.